mentioned, but they're also without their point guard, Javon Garcia, who did not make this trip.
Well, I don't know that that's going to be a huge problem for the Cowboys. In his stead, Omar Cooper, 22 assists to 4 turnovers over the course of the first 6 games of the season.
Blazers in control of the tip. It's Eric Gaines.
Be interesting to see if the Cowboys decide to double Javion Williams inside.
Most teams have tried that. As you look at the Blazers starting 5, what a game Lindeborg had against Furman. Gaines for 3. Vasquez keeps this possession alive. There's Davis. You see a double team, Mo? I do. And then a strip.
And they're going to surround him tonight. That time, Cowboys forcing the turnover. Javion there sees the double. Probably not going to be able to split it. Best to just get rid of the basketball. Such a great passer. And you hope that tonight he'll make some quality decisions for the Blazers.
Berger. Point guard Cooper. There's a 3 ball from the wing. Good looking shot. Robert Berger.
And that's Berger right there, right on cue. The Cowboys will shoot at any time during the shot clock, early, late. They play with such great pace. And as I mentioned, Cooper does not turn it over. He does a great job of finding open teammates.
Vasquez, strong, and gets the bucket. No foul.
And that's what A.J. Vasquez has done such a good job of for the Blazers so far this season, attacking the rim, using his body. Such a strong and physical player for the guard position.
Cooper getting the start again for Javon Garcia. That's a 3 if it goes. 2 for 2. As Antavion Collum hits a 3.
And Collum there showing he's not afraid to test the range out early. For the Blazers, you'll have to early contest 2 possessions, 2 threes, 1 challenge, 1 unchallenged. And for the Blazers, at home, they typically do a great job defensively. Not so on those last 2 possessions.
Davis got fouled on his way to the rim. Strong move, and we've talked about, again, the weight loss and then the quickness without giving up strength.
And I think right there, even if you see Javion Davis there on the roll, 2 Cowboys are right there around the rim waiting for him to catch the basketball. Look for the Blazers to try to get it to him in some space to give him a chance to operate before the double can set up. That time, very rare to trap a guy on a roll from a pick and roll.
Davis is an 80% free throw shooter, although he misses the first one here. Born in Canton, Mississippi. Empty possession for the Blazers. Cowboys seeing some pressure from UAB.
And the Blazers this season haven't been able to turn teams over, but right on cue, Eric Gaines with the steal and the lob.
See ya. I'm teaching you these broadcast words like on cue. I like that, Mo.
Well, the thing is, they are notoriously good at turning teams over at home. Over the first few games, we haven't seen them do it a lot. Teams have done a great job of taking care of the basketball until that possession.
Berger with a head fake. The stutter step. UAB there defensively. Lindeborg keeps this for UAB. Gaines in transition. Gaines again. Got it for 3.
And that was a tougher one there, but to be honest, an easier shot. It's usually easier to shoot a 3 off a miss. Javion Davis steals another possession for the Blazers. Quick outlet to Tony, who finds Eric Gaines in rhythm.
Why is it easier to hit a 3 off a miss?
Well, because typically the defense isn't necessarily set, and it's just much easier to play outside in. That ball's coming back out to you. Your feet are usually, you're already square to the basket. Feet are set. Makes it an easier shot.
Learn something new every day. A good lesson for those.
I figured you just shot it whenever you felt like it anyway. You didn't need an inside-out touch or a turnover.
Rock is going up.
Yeah.
8 to shoot for the Cowboys. Collum, Cooper. Wing 3 again. Got it. What a shot early for the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys shooting 39% from three as a team. You see Collum make his first two.
McNeese State up by 2. On a low block. Davis might have got away with a little elbow. Lindenborg lost it, picked up by Tony. Acrobatic shot. One more shot for Lindenborg. That one is swatted out of bounds. UAB possession, but the shot clock empties. Good defense for the Cowboys. Cowboys off to a good start shooting. They play good defense on that possession. And McNeese State with a 5-2 record before the first timeout. Mo, how do you defend that?
Yeah, well, if you're the Blazers, you got to get your hands up. I know the first one, Collum took Davis, sort of dared him to take it. Maybe thought that Collum was a little bit out of his range, but as you can see, he's not. And the Cowboys, they're going to take threes. They're shooting at 39% for the season. And they've taken 126, so you have to know that they're going to come in and they're going to chuck it up there.
So there was less than a second left to go on the inbounds play, and Lindenborg hit the baseline swish. 9-9 competitive start both ways. And in what? No. That's a travel on Shahade Wells. It looked like he was going to get a foul and go to the line.
And that time you see the versatility of Yaxel Lindenborg defensively. Didn't necessarily block the shot, but his presence forced a travel there. He does so many things defensively for the Blazers.
Tony waiting for some numbers. Love having him on the court if you're UAB because he's kind of like an assistant coach on the court.
Right. Tony plays within himself, does everything that a coach would love for a guy that you don't have to run plays for. They're not running anything offensively for him. He rebounds the basketball, typically guards the opposing team's best perimeter ball handler, many times full court. Just a great guy to have a part of your ball team.
Strong finisher as well at the rim. Daniel Ortiz in the game for Tony. Shoemate. There's a corner three. And then Shoemate, did he get over the top? Apparently not.
They're going to get an air from Johnson for a hold right there.
Vernon Hamilton coaching tonight. 3 more games left for Will Wade's suspension. 10-gamer handed down by the NCAA.
And I think if you're McNeese State, I mean, you've got to tip your hat to that coaching staff, a roster filled with guys that transferred in, and for them to be able to get guys on the same page collectively without your head coach in place, that's an amazing feat.
Gaines, oh, what a feed inside. Coleman did not have quite the positioning that he needed. Unable to contort his body.
I think Coleman there just got caught watching. And right there, you see him react defensively.
Gaines recovers his own loose ball. Finishes like only Eric Gaines can.
You know, every week we see Eric Gaines do something in the open court that we've seen before, but something that you don't necessarily think that he's going to be able to duplicate. And he has just such great body control and great feel. And just an amazing guy to see in the open court.
Cooper. Shoemate on the low block against Coleman. Coleman, second straight good defensive play by Chris Coleman. But Johnson in the game now, by the way. He's number 24. You look at Gaines. Gaines recruited by Will Wade. Johnson for the wing three. UAB able to keep it alive. Gaines, a wide open three from the logo. Shoemate averaging 9 rebounds a game, picks one up here. UAB took a couple of threes. Well, they were good threes. We've talked about that in the Furman game.
Good threes, open threes. Their percentage is not great, but they've done a really good job of not taking a lot of bad threes, not forcing a ton. But here's the thing, when you're not making a lot, you're going to be open.
Antavion Collum. He has 8 points. He averages 11. 6'9" grad student. Here's a three from Ortiz. Oh, he used a little glass.
I don't know that he thought that was going in. Very, very fortunate there to get the kind kiss off the glass for Ortiz. We've seen him make a few shots. He's a guy that the Blazers are counting on to make perimeter jump shots, and he's done a really good job the past 2 games.
Second chance for the Cowboys, and then it's Gaines. He's got Ortiz on the near wing. Eric Gaines by himself gets stripped. Cowboys are pointing as if it's their ball. And there will be a foul on McNeese State instead. Cooper on the foul.
That time Cooper, Eric Gaines puts so much pressure on the defense by just putting his head down and going full speed. That time Cooper, doing everything he could to make a play on the ball, just got caught with a little more arm than ball.
Gains 64% from the charity stripe. One of the underrated stats in the Furman win for UAB, Mo, Blazers were 19 out of 23 from the free throw line.
If you can make free throws, especially the front end of 1-and-1s, you give yourself an opportunity to score more points.
Remember, Gaines had missed a few on the road, trying to seal out that win against Middle Tennessee, and then hit some big ones against Furman. Every game UAB has played this year has been decided by 6 points or less. 4-point margin as we speak. A wide open three. Cam Jones can't hit. Shoemates, Skies had it for a moment. Shoemates got some athleticism, and he also has the shoulders and arms that only I can dream of as our camera stays on. Cowboys and the Blazers separated by 4 points. UAB from the corner.
Coach Hamilton 3-0. This is his 4th game. He has one more game to coach after this against Mississippi University for women. So that'll wrap up his time leading this squad. On UAB side, you have Coach Kennedy. His record at UAB, 82-27. It is pretty impressive. They're trying to go for their 5th overall win now from their leader, who also, as you may know, played basketball here at UAB. The 2nd all-time scoring leader, Kurt.
Yes, he also was an outstanding coach at Ole Miss. He was a 2-time SEC Coach of the Year. Took the Rebs to the NCAAs, but chance to come home. Butter to the paint and out. Here's Ortiz for a 3. Shoemate, very impressive rebounder, Mo.
Shoemate hasn't done a ton offensively, but he's doing a great job on the boards. Close to his leading 9 boards a game. He's going to have 9 before the half is over. He keeps that same pace now.
My lower back hurt after that spill from Butter Johnson. I didn't even get a hit. That's a foul on Wells. Slow start for Shahade Wells. In fact, no points yet.
Look at the Blazers. You can't rest easy knowing that Wells is out on that court. Such a dynamic scorer.
What a follow by Chris Coleman, keeping this possession alive. Gaines.
Ortiz, that's one you got to shoot. It's a great opportunity, penetrating kick.
Davis gets fouled by DJ Richards, and the crowd here applauding the effort on the glass by UAB.
That time, Javian Davis is getting tied up there. Strength on strength.
Stolen, of course, you see by the Cowboys to John Brown. That was just, again, not a rookie mistake by Buddy. He's not a rookie, but got caught up in the moment. He's only a sophomore.
But I think the Blazers have done such a great job of scoring off of their baseline out of bounds plays. I think maybe that time Johnson just thought for a second Coleman's going to be there because those passes have been there over the past few games, with little resistance.
Head fake and then shoemate. I think it was Butter that got him from behind. This one comes rolling near us. And McNeese State will have it out of bounds. 14 to shoot. To John Brown getting some playing time today.
I think Johnson thought that ball rolled off Richards' leg, but referee right on it right there.
Foul on Vasquez.
And that's actually a really good job of A.J. Vasquez of taking a foul to keep Javian Davis from picking up a foul. Javian Davis and Yaxel Lindeborg have found themselves in foul trouble, not so much because of what they haven't been able to do, but more so because of what their teammates haven't been able to do with regards to keeping the basketball in front of them. That time, A.J. Vasquez gives up a baseline drive, and Javian's coming to help, and it's going to be easily going to be a foul on either Vasquez or Davis. Vasquez there taking the foul to keep Davis maybe on the court a little more.
Wells 2 for 2. McNeese State put some pressure on Butta Johnson. Vasquez to Davis. Dangerous cross court. Ortiz. Butta for 3. Rebound by the Cowboys.
Blazers have gotten some good looks from 3. Got to be able to make clean looks, especially at home.
UAB looking to run. Ortiz. Kiss off the glass. Ortiz played well against Furman. He had 10 points.
One of the guys that Coach Andy Kennedy's looking to step up in terms of shooting the basketball. He's turned down a couple of open threes tonight. We saw him bank one in at such a weird angle, and then he turned down 2 that were wide open that you're probably not going to get a cleaner look than those he turned down.
Ortiz does pick up a foul. .20 to shoot for McNeese State. And they're a little shorthanded. We mentioned besides the coach, their point guard is out. They moved Berger into the starting lineup. That's Berger right there. Cannot hit that corner 3.
Starting point guard out, but also leading scorer. Hasn't done a ton offensively. And on the road, you got to have your guy be your guy.
Lindeborg puts the ball on the floor. Berger a little bit late. A little bit late getting to the spot.
If you're UAB, if you're a perimeter guy for UAB right now, tonight especially, you're going to get tons of opportunities. When that ball goes inside, they're going to double. They're going to garner a ton of attention. All you have to do is be ready to shoot it when it gets rotated to you.
Now watch the bottom of your screen when Javion Davis gets in that paint. You see guys collapsing on him. Fade away. Ortiz got the field tonight, 7 points. Played his first 2 years at North Alabama. He led North Alabama last year in scoring at 14.8 per game.
I think scoring the basketball is what he does best. And tonight is a perfect night to get yourself going offensively because you'll have multiple opportunities.
Kick out. At 8 to shoot on that shot clock. Johnson, pull up. About a 12-footer. UAB warming up. Ortiz is from Shreveport, so he's playing against his home state team. And for more on that, here's Lyndon Blake.
Yeah, to give you just an idea of where Shreveport, Louisiana is, if you don't know, that's where Ortiz is from. That is North Louisiana, about 3 hours north of Lake Charles, which is southern Louisiana. So we're talking about like Mobile to Birmingham, where he grew up in respect to McNeese State. So you mentioned he went to North Alabama first before coming here to UAB. Already has 7 points, just playing fantastic. His season high so far is the 10 points that he had against Furman, but at UNA, he was able to cap a 32-point game. So be on the lookout for Ortiz tonight, Kurt. Maybe he is playing that extra passion since he is playing the guys from home.
A little bit more, yeah, I agree with you. You circle the ones and that say, and there's a chance we didn't dive into it, but they might not have had him on their radar.
And a guy who found his way to North Alabama, a few hours away, definitely he had this one circled.
But a Johnson pull up. That was a good hustle play by Collum. And off of Davis, so Antavion Collum keeps that ball alive and gives possession to McNeese State. Cowboys trailing by 8 on the road. We talked about this in the Furman game. One thing UAB was able to do is their first game, they got off to a good start. They've been playing uphill, and they're off to a pretty good start here tonight. They're a tough team, a great team finishing, especially here at Bartow.
Very clean start for this game as well as the Furman game. Only 4 fouls so far. I'm extremely impressed with Yaxel, Lundenborg, and also Javian Davis not fouling on the perimeter. Or, in the interior. They've done a really good job of staying out of foul trouble so far.
Andy Kennedy had the exact stat, but something when Davis is on the floor for 20 or more minutes, UAB does not lose.
Oh, it's a different game for sure. He draws so much attention offensively. He's a great rebounder, physical presence, as you see as he tries to keep that ball alive. It's night and day when he's on the floor and when he's off.
To the bench for Alejandro Vasquez. Gaines back in. UAB with a smallish lineup, Mo.
And we see Ortiz playing quality minutes here early in the game. I had a coach tell me once, if you can make shots, you'll stay on the floor. And Ortiz, the past 2 games, he's done just that.
Collum.
Good D.
5 to shoot for McNeese State. That's an off balance with the left hand, no less, trying to create something. Was Cooper. Watch your screen again, especially when Davis gets down low. Tony for 3. And there's Davis, and you see 3 blue uniforms around him when he tries to get the rebound.
And they're going to surround him. They're extremely smart to surround him. You want to force him to have to fight through a body, expect a body, whether he's rebounding the basketball or whether he's trying to score it.
We've said this for quite a long time. Everyone's got tape on everyone. There's no more secrets.
No, it's no secret. You have to just figure out who you can try to make beat you.
Lundenborg picks up a foul. Cowboys on the out-of-bounds play. Swish from about 17 feet.
And Richards, such a unique scorer, does not turn down a ton of shots, doesn't have to wait for a shot, can create his own. Does a really good job of getting to his spots offensively.
Somebody's got to come to the ball. Gaines was tied up. That's a bone-crunching pick set by Davis. And then a strip. Here come the Cowboys. They've got numbers. Wells in the open court, and Gaines with the foul.
And that was probably the best outcome you could hope for the Blazers right there. Send him to the line in hopes that he'll miss 1 or 2. Great defensive possession there by the Cowboys, extending their pressure, forcing UAB to take multiple dribbles. And whenever you're dribbling a lot, that ball's not moving, that ball's sticking to one guy's hands, you're helping the defenders. You're helping the defense, and that time the Cowboys are able to force a turnover.
Shahade Wells is at the free throw line. He's hit 3 straight. Does not have a made basket. Leading scorer for the McNeese State Cowboys at 16 a game. Earlier this year against a very good Western Carolina club, Wells had 37 points, a career high.
And for whatever reason tonight, he and Shoemate have essentially been taking their time, sort of trying to pick their spots a little bit. There's a fine line between letting the game come to you, but also being aggressive.
But Johnson got fouled. TJ Richards picks up his second here in the first half.
In that possession, the total opposite of the last possession. Ball movement makes it a lot easier to crack teams off the dribble. And that time caught Jones in a closeout situation. Ephraim Johnson able to force him into a foul.
Lindebor muscles up for 2.
Right there, Lindebor may have gotten away with a step or two. Physical finish right in between the 2 Cowboy defenders.
4 points for Axel Lindebor. Collum with a handoff to Wells in the paint. Nice feed. Collum from behind. Davis says false.
And that right there, Lindebor, right position, timely rotation. Right here, getting vertical, not allowing a clear path to the basket, which allows Javian Davis to come from the weak side for the block.
Mo, I saw you before the game acting like an usher. You're doing color. You probably could sell popcorn. The only thing I haven't seen you do yet is get that mop and get the floor. I mean, we still got plenty of time.
Well,
I am of many talents.
I am here to serve. If I thought they needed someone to go out and mop, I would mop. No problem.
No, I know you. You're a team player, man. Take one for the team.
The guy that asked me about the ticket, he has no idea. I don't know where any seats are here, man. I only know where one seat is, mine.
I like that. But you looked the part. Collum, a long 3 at the end of the shot clock. Gaines with a bounce pass. Davis draws the foul.
And that time, such a good job. It won't show up in the box score. Lindebor won't get an assist for the pass, obviously, but he provides an opportunity to push that basketball up the court with his versatility. He's able to pitch it ahead to Eric Gaines, who's able to feed it inside to Javian Davis almost before the double gets there. That time, interior defense for the Cowboys pretty good, giving his teammates time to come over and help, but Javian Davis, too strong, was able to draw the foul.
For 16 minutes without a point. Average is 12.
I think tonight we're seeing Davis not able to cash in at the free throw line. You know, maybe it's just one of those nights. Shoemate 0 points, Wells only 3, and Javian Davis not able to come away in a positive in the line. That time 1 for 2, but I know he's pretty frustrated, especially after making so many the past few nights.
Wells, Brown. Back to Wells at the top. McNeese State looking for the open man. Oh my goodness, that counts. Christian Shoemate with his first 2 points. I thought maybe offensive goaltending, but an incredible foul.
And that time Shoemate almost overran that rebound, able to reach back, such long arms. And maybe that's the spark that gets him going offensively.
Davis keeping it alive. Gaines turns down a 3. First time that we have seen James White on the court. Did not play last game against Furman. We got a media timeout, under 4. Technically 3:26 remaining and a 3-point game. The Blazers up over their Southland Conference.
That's even before Joe Dumars, isn't it? That's a great start by McNeese State. I've looked at the schedule. A quality win at VCU on the road to open your season. And only down 3 here in the first half.
Lost to Western Carolina, but Johnson can't hit the three. Davis, he has been a monster on the offensive glass. They also, McNeese State has a road game later on in Ann Arbor against the Wolverines.
That's a long way
from Lake Charles.
That's a long drive.
They're not driving,
flight, train, however you get. That's a long ride, no matter how you travel.
And I think the Wolverines are
going to
send a plane and a check with it. Yeah, and they're hoping that it doesn't have the same outcome as that Auburn football game against New Mexico.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You pay for a team to come
and
they beat you. But it happens. That goes to prove that anybody can be beaten regardless of venue, regardless of, status in terms of, finances within that program. You have to go out and play.
A $1.8 million loss. Blazers by 4. Davis, as I mentioned, he's an 80% free throw shooter, but struggling tonight.
Iron unkind for Javion Davis at the foul line as Brown got away with a travel there.
Tajon Brown, freshman from Dallas. He has only played in 3 games prior to tonight. Wells. And that counts. +1.
Right there, Wells able to split the screen, the double team there, get inside. And right there, Yaxel just a little bit with the left hand. That's his second foul. Initially, he thought he did a great job of staying vertical. And if you're McNeese State, you're down 2 with your leading scorer at the foul, and he only has 5 points. So you got to feel really good about where you are in terms of the score. But Wells definitely has to come out and be a little more aggressive as this game progresses.
6 for Wells. He had a highlight dunk in the NCAA tournament last year playing for TCU. Gaines lucky to maintain possession. Vasquez draws contact. Vasquez comes up short. Good defense by Christian Shoemate. Shoemate hasn't scored a whole lot, just in fact that one follow dunk, but he's played solid defense and he does get his rebounds. There is a ticky-tacky on Davis that is going to drive him and Andy Kennedy nuts right there.
And that's just Wells right there, understanding how to play, recognizing who's guarding him, getting right into Javion Davis's hip, not allowing him to cut him off, drawing the fouls. Great scorers, they know how to manufacture points when they're not necessarily shooting the basketball a ton. Like tonight, Wells is only taking 4 shots. Kurt, you and I have taken 4 shots.
Yeah. One thing that you have said on our broadcast for the last couple of years, scorers will get their points. Slow climb, but now 7 points for Wells. He averages 16, and most of his work has been at the free throw line, but they still add up.
And the more aggressive he becomes, whether or not he's making field goals or getting to the foul line, he can score as long as he's been aggressive. I think, to be honest, he's been a little too passive this first half, but they have the lead, so maybe he knows something that I don't.
You know, Mo, I'm just looking at that scoreboard. I can't put my finger on how we've arrived at this junction, but if you're McNeese State, you have to be overjoyed. No coach, no point guard. You're on the road against a team that's fantastic at home. 5 to shoot for the Blazers. Gaines going to have to launch with 2 off balance. Look at that friendly bounce. Did you get a few of those when you were playing here?
No. I'm not as talented as Eric Gay. I wasn't as talented as that. I didn't get friendly rolls. I needed to go straight in.
Meanwhile, somebody did not guard Collum. This is Barry Dunning. And then Coleman tried to follow Dunk.
You mentioned how did we get here? No coach, no starting point guard. You see Barry Dunning here attack, try to draw the contact, and we see Christian Coleman there with the putback. Christian Coleman so athletic, still hasn't quite found his footing offensively in the Blazers offense.
By the way, another Louisiana native. He's from Winsboro.
How far is that from Lake Charles?
Again, I'm not a Louisiana geography major. I can get you up north a little bit, and even here in the state of Alabama, but...
Well, in McNeese State's defense, Christian Coleman wasn't exactly a high school prodigy with being 5'11 or 6'1 or however tall he was.
Winsboro is 3 hours and 16 minutes from Lake Charles.
I'm glad we brought Lyndon with us. Another 3-hour drive.
Call me Siri.
Christian may have had this game circled as well.
And that is an off-the-charts story. Out of high school, he was 6'1", went to work in the Walmart in Winsboro, and grew 8 inches in 2 years. Follow up. 3 for $1. Shoemate swatted from Coleman. Gaines keeps this alive. Crowd was looking for the Ortiz 3, and Ortiz draws a foul.
Ortiz very smart there, was not open for the 3. Attacking the rim, recognizing you got him in a closeout situation, attack, force them to guard you off the dribble without fouling that time. Ortiz there raises up, and we see Brown, the freshman, commit the foul.
Vernon Hamilton coaching McNeese State, talking with the far side official. Ortiz. Only his 5th free throw of the year. He's now 4 out of 5.
And Ortiz lives behind that three-point line, doesn't get to the foul line a ton. But I think if he can find a way to consistently make perimeter jump shots, he will find his minutes increase significantly.
The minutes are there because Jelly Walker is now in the G League. So there are minutes and shots to be had for those who earn them.
Who can make them. If you can make shots, there's a spot for you on the floor.
3 ball. Tied the game. Second chance, yes. And Shahade starting to heat up. That's 10 for Wells.
Before you know it, free throws, a couple of layups. Before you know it, he's at his average.
But a 7-second differential, so the Blazers cannot kill the clock. Dunning will keep this possession alive with 14. Now the shot clock is off, and UAB with a second chance. UAB's prowess on the offensive boards, keeping them out in front. Nice pass. White pushes it, no. And that should drain the clock, and it will. So UAB got 2 really good looks, unable to capitalize, and that leaves this. And they've done a great job of keeping that cohesiveness. The 2 assistants, Vernon Hamilton's got tonight's game, and then Brandon Chambers will coach the next game. Here is a corner 3 missed by Johnson. Ortiz, second chance. Third chance, Butta. 3 for $1.
You get 2 offensive rebounds, surely one of them is going to go in. But right there, still open looks, not going down for the Blazers. You're not going to get an easier shot than the one Butta Johnson just had from the corner.
Blazers by 3. Blazers by 1, like I said. Shahade Wells, he just looks like he's ready to start heating up.
And now he comes out, first possession of the second half, and attacks Eric Gaines. Eric Gaines there conceded a little bit. Decided not to foul.
Turnover. Cowboys with a chance to take the lead. Wells, long 3, straight on, got it.
And that's what scorers do, picking his spots. We saw him start to pick up his offensive aggressiveness toward the end of the first half, getting to the foul line. You see him come out 2 possessions, 2 shot attempts.
UAB with a turnover. There's a fired up Vernon Hamilton.
And right there, both teams have played a fairly clean game, not a ton of turnovers right there. Blazers turn it over essentially against no pressure, just an unforced error there for the Blazers.
You got to continue, if you're the Cowboys, putting this pressure on. Score, stay out in front. As UAB is an incredibly good team at home, long range, and then a kiss for Wells to the sky. And the score now with 18 after a slow start.
And that's the Wells we expected to see from the beginning.
Shoemate with a great block on Lindeborg. These Cowboys have come to play defense. And they'll have a 5-point lead. They were down by 1.5.
And that's one of those shots there. As a scorer, once you've seen it go in a few times, as Wells has, now his confidence is sky high. Now he's in a groove. You have to see. Let's see how the Blazers respond defensively.
Omar Cooper. Ortiz on him. Inside go the Cowboys. In and out, and then Davis. Berger is holding his hands up as if to say, not me, but it is you.
I've never seen an official change his mind. Never in my life have I seen an official say, you know what, you're right.
You're
not you.
You know, the second thought, I'm going to take that back. No, you're right. But Johnson trying to make things happen in the paint. Little fadeaway. Got it off the glass.
That time, Blazers run a little down screen action for Butter Johnson to get it to him near the top of the key. Sweeps right and gets to his spots. He loves that elbow area jump shot.
3 ball. Straight on in by Collum.
That's Collum's third three. 50% for the night. As I mentioned, 47% for the season coming in.
He's their post player. Knocking down threes. Wreaking some havoc on UAB's defense. Nice job defensively by Collum on Butta. Then we got a whistle off ball. They got Collum. That's only his second.
That time, you can see the misses start to creep into the mentality of the Blazers. That time, Erfin Johnson had a wide open three, turned it down to attack off the dribble.
Ortiz tries a long three. Swish. McNeese State by 3. Cooper all the way. He got fouled. He got knocked down.
Cooper, such an interesting player for me because I gravitate towards the guards here. Great pace, a little hesitation and burst. Has Ortiz on his hip, keeps him there and attacks the rim. But tonight, only 2 assists, but 0 turnovers. To mention 22 assists to only 4 turnovers for the season. That's extremely difficult to do. That's a guy that's taking care of the basketball.
The foul, by the way, according to the scoreboard, went to Lindeborg, not Ortiz.
Oh, wow.
That's his third. Andy Kennedy will leave him in as Cooper goes 1 out of 2.
And the game is different defensively when Javian Davis and Yaxel Lindeborg are on the floor together. And now as you see Christian Coleman enter the game, different in terms of how they play offensively, but also different in terms of what you're allowed to do defensively because of both of their versatility and strength.
Ortiz trying to connect again from downtown.
And if you're Andy Kennedy, that's exactly what you're hoping to see from Daniel Ortiz or from any Blazer. You got to see somebody make an open one, or even a challenge one in that case.
Behind the back, Shahade Wells gets his man in the air and scores.
Great patience there. Wells recognized Coleman with his length, showed him a little ball fake, got him up off his feet, created an angle for the open 2.
Wells last year played for TCU. Ortiz got the hot hand. Step back jumper. He got a lot of spin. You saw that one spinning away from its target. I would have tied the game. Wells gets a screen. Wells will try three. Sinks it.
Right there, there's a miscommunication between Christian Coleman and Javion Davis. You can't leave the ball. Obviously, you taught that from grade school, but especially with a guy that as hot as Wells has been the first 5 minutes of this second half.
But muscling in the paint, travels.
And that's a ball that Johnson has to shoot after the second dribble there. Got to his spot. Great defense by the Cowboys. Got to raise up and let it go.
15:07 remaining. Second half. And the Cowboys lead the Blazers by 6.
Talk about his vertical. I mean, he literally is jumping out of Bartow Arena. Shahade Wells, he is new on the Cowboys roster this year after graduating from TCU. Head coach Will Wade described Wells as a perfect fit for the Cowboys program on both offense and defense. He was just averaging 5.9 points per game at TCU. You want to call him a good fit? I think so, because this year he's averaging 15.9 points per game, literally leading every offensive category, and he'll steal the ball a time or two.
He's in his 6th year of college basketball. Again, COVID did a lot of things, Mo, and we're not quite yet even with everyone getting an extra year. Strong finish by Alejandro Vasquez.
That time Vasquez taking advantage of the late defensive rotation there from the Cowboys.
Cooper the alley-oop for Shoemate. Shoemate taps it up, missed it. Those are 2 points that McNeese State might need later on.
And Shoemates, he's having a rough night tonight. That right there is going to be an easy layup for him. Cooper did a great job of finding him.
Davis before the shot. DJ Richards picks up his 3rd foul. UAB with 20 to shoot. 3 ball. Corner pocket, no good. Davis keeps it alive. Gaines, Ortiz, 3 got deflected. Shoemate picks it up. Wow, Shoemate, 16 boards, Mo.
He has not done a great job offensively in terms of scoring the basketball, but rebounding the basketball has been his forte tonight. But this young man, Wells, has done all the heavy lifting on the scoring.
Cowboy turnover. See the deflection, the closeout. Good closeout, Mo.
That's great timing there from Wells. Ortiz, that's paying attention to the scouting report there. Knowing that Ortiz wants to line up the 3 ball. Wells timed it, allowed Ortiz to commit to the jump shot, and used his length and that burst of athleticism and vertical there to come up with the block.
Gaines and the Blazers down by 4 here in the second half. All 6 UAB games have been decided by 6 or less points. Spin move Ortiz. Coleman long for 2. That's not his shot. Second chance, no. And McNeese State will come up with it. Andy Kenny's got a look on his face, hands on his hips. He just can't find the right 5 guys. And he just, it's the energy. There's Andy right there. He just doesn't like the energy that he has seen.
Well, the energy is bad in terms of defensive energy. With regards to Wells, you haven't seen a Blazer decide to step up and say, I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to try to neutralize this guy on this end of the floor. Wells finds Jones there for the elbow jump shot.
Over the top. UAB's looking for over the top.
Right there, Thomas may have gotten away with a little bit of a foul. You see him jog back down and get out of the referee's sight really quickly right there.
Just disappear in a sea of blue jerseys. At game speed, it clearly looked like he had gotten over the top of Gaines. to the paint, out. 3, Vasquez. Now that's short.
And the Blazers, most of the possessions this half have been empty. They've been a ton of dribbling and a ton of missed open threes. You know, Andy Kennedy, he can't come out here and make a shot. Lyndon mentioned he's the second all-time leading scorer. He can't suit up tonight. Someone for the UAB Blazers, they have to make an open three.
Cam Jones able to get operating space in the paint. From behind, Gaines at his pocket pick, but off of McNeese State. UAB in the win over Furman had a season high in points, 92. And Andy Kennedy's wondering, where did that offense go? We are going to go as well. McNeese State with a 6-point lead, under 12 minutes to go. Can the Cowboys cowboy up? We'll find out after this.
What has that been for you?
It was a very quick adjustment of having to grow up very fast and having to take on some scary responsibilities at a really early age, but I've been more than fortunate and so blessed to be able to have the time that I've had with them, especially being able to commute to UAB and be a primary caregiver full-time for them.
You're from Leeds, Alabama, so you're a hometown girl. You're staying so positive through all of this. Where do you get that positivity and that will to balance everything that you do?
I think it's important to look that each day, you know, even if it isn't the best day, there's always another day that's coming, and there's always something to look forward to. No matter what's going on in your life, there's always something that could be worse, and that's the way I kind of look at it. You know, my mom wakes up every morning, she says, hey, I woke up today, so it's a good day, even if she's not feeling good, and I wish to have that resilience and strength that she has as well one day, too.
Zoe, thank you so much. We look forward to following you throughout your journey here at UAB.
Thank you so much.
Kurt.
Yeah, sometimes you really can't follow off of something as sentimental as that. Incredible story. Wish her the best. Zoe Champion. And I better mention her coach, Abby Sutherland, one of my former Barons front office mates and the head coach of the Golden Girls. Here is Tony with a golden moment.
Right there, one of the few transition buckets that's led to another turnover there. Sometimes all you need is one play to spark the energy and spark the offense.
You know, if I'm on that UAB bench and I need that spark, the first guy I look at is Tony.
And Tony right on cue comes in, gets a breakaway layup in traffic. Not an easy finish. Was able to get the layup, and now he comes with the back tip here. And again, McNeese State 5 fouls, 10 minutes right here left to play in the second half. Free throw shooting will become a part of this game. If you're the Blazers, you want to continue to attack and put McNeese State in positions to foul you.
Gaines turns down a shot. Long 2. Again, Gaines got a good straight-on look. He also had rebound help. Ball just didn't go through.
I mean, McNeese State is doing such a great job of just packing the paint. If you look at that painted area, it's full of blue jerseys. Javian Davis, a Cowboy in front, a Cowboy in back. Behind him, they're making entry passes really, really tough, and they're forcing UAB to take jump shots. It's almost if you can beat us from the outside, we welcome you the opportunity to do so.
Yaks hits the floor, no foul. He was looking for contact. Wells and Cooper. Omar Cooper, 1 point today's game, but again, he's run the point for his team that has a 4-point lead and technically a backup. Slam dunk, see ya.
Right there with his 5th assist, Cooper plays with such patience and poise. Right there, you can't speed him up. He's not going to turn it over. And just a great guy to lead your team. I don't know what Eric Gaines was looking for there.
He was looking for a cutter, as we say, and it didn't happen. And now you got a foul the other way.
Right there, Lindenborg picks up his 4th foul.
What do you do with him, Mo? Do you leave him in right now with 9:48 remaining?
9:48, I don't think you can. I think you got to take him out of the game and hopefully hope that your team can weather the storm for the next 3 or 4 minutes without him and put him in for that final 5 to 4 minute stretch.
regardless of where this game goes, McNeese State has come to play at Bartow. They've come to play defense. They've been very efficient offensively. They're well coached, well prepared. They're at a point now, under 10, they want the win. They don't want any of these accolades.
Right, and I don't think, they came here for anything other than to win. We talk about guys figuring out their roles quickly with UAB and with different teams with the transfer portal. McNeese State, they seem to have figured out where they're going to get scoring from, where they're going to get defensive stops from, the guys that they're going to do the dirty work. They figured some things out.
Coleman from behind. Really be able to save possession. Tony. Butta rejected. UAB 6 seconds to shoot. I'm not sure Ortiz knows the clock. This is going way up from way downtown at 1. 3 rejections, and he kind of lost track of the clock. Here's a lead pass. There's a height mismatch, and Collum and McNeese State takes advantage of it, forcing UAB to take a timeout. UAB getting smoked at home, down by 10 to these McNeese State Cowboys.
And it's the defensive pressure and game plan of these Cowboys covering the paint. If you look in that painted area, when that ball's being attacked off the dribble by the Blazers, you see hands and feet inside that painted area. They're forcing UAB to take multiple dribbles. Again, the more you dribble, the more you're helping the defense. It gives guys time to make the rotations. We're seeing weak side blocks. We're seeing uncontested jumpers that the Blazers haven't been able to connect on. But they're doing such a good job. Now we're seeing them run and jump, attack the passing lanes just like that.
Another defensive play by McNeese State. They lost their last game. It was on the road to Louisiana Tech, 71-62. Long 3, yes! Shahade Wells with 26.
And Wells doing what the leading scorer does.
Some pressure, and UAB able to survive. Ortiz got fouled and then does a swim move.
For whatever reason right there, Ortiz, Tony was ahead of him. Could have pitched it ahead. It's a little shaking up on the play, attacking the rim there.
.8:20 left to go. Clock stops. McNeese State by 10. Daniel Ortiz with 15 points on the night.
And if you're UAB right here, you have to find a way to slow down Wells. 26 points with the majority coming in the second half. He's taking shots off of pick and rolls the past couple of possessions that he scored. Look for the Blazers to do something a little different to get it out of his hands.
9-point lead with ball on the road for these Cowboys. Cooper.
He's so sure-handed, man. He's not going to turn it over.
There's Tony against Wells. That's goaltending. We are going to take a break. It's our media timeout at the 8-minute mark. Exactly 8 minutes. 8.17 in this half.
And it's been the Wells show from the start of the second half. We talked about him not being as aggressive in the first half. He was saving his best for last, apparently. Doing a great job of coming out and getting the Cowboys off to the great offensive start. And with such steady play from the point guard position that Cooper's providing tonight, you don't have to worry about him turning the ball over, playing under control with a lead here. The final 8 minutes, if you're McNeese State, you're in a really good spot.
Omar Cooper, 24 minutes, only 2 turnovers, 3, a dagger at this time. No one told me that the post player Collum was a 3-point threat.
And he is their best 3-point shooter. As we've seen tonight, with his 4th made 3. Great recognition there from Wells. He draws the crowd. Pitches it right there, drives downhill and gets it to Collum in the corner for the 3.
One and done for the Blazers on this time around. And those are our viewers that are watching in Louisiana. I want to give you a little stat here. Andy Kennedy, since being the head coach at UAB, is 50-7 here at home. Foul. The Blazers under Andy's tutelage, and this is year 4, they've won 88% of their games here at Bartow. And McNeese State is looking up. It's 7 minutes, 16 seconds left to go. They're trying to win what would be the 8th loss in Andy's 4 years at home.
And this isn't an easy place for a road team to come in and get a victory, but they've done it today with timely shooting, and their stars have essentially been stars. With Wells erupting for 26, Collum doesn't average as many as Wells, obviously, but coming in here and getting 20, and Shoemate doing all the dirty work, essentially owning the boards with 17 rebounds, only 2 points. They've done a great job of taking care of the basketball, and they've made their open threes. And again,
doing this without their point guard, and they also moved another role player into the starting 5 tonight in Berger. What an outing. Gains as it comes off, and we've seen a lot of that from UAB.
And everything the Blazers have taken has been contested. Everything around that painted area, you're going to have to fight through at least 2 to 3 Cowboy defenders. And the second half, the difference in the first half, they weren't able to limit UAB to 1 shot. This half they have.
What a spectacular finish. Omar Cooper, points 2 and 3. The lefty point guard out of Atlanta. A 15-point lead for McNeese State. Another turnover, and no one in the way of Cooper. Oh my. No one in the way of Shoemate, who left it up there.
There was no doubt in my mind that Cooper was going to dish that ball back off to Shoemate. I just didn't know how he'd figure out how to do it.
Look at that bench. Rightfully so, erupting for McNeese State. 65, UAB 48. Under 7 minutes remaining. There's that Cowboy bench. Vernon Hamilton, acting head coach, 4-year starter as a player with the Clemson Tigers. Worked 2 years with Will Wade at LSU, and then last year Hamilton was on the bench at Georgetown with one of my all-time favorite Knicks, Patrick Ewing.
These coaches may be heading up their own programs after doing such a stellar job. They go 5-0 or so during their time as the interim head coaches here, as we see a foul right there.
That's a solid point. Well, you got to be having your eyes on this program right now going, whoa, these guys might be 6-2.
You hear coaches talk all the time how the heat turns up a little bit when you move a couple of seats to your right. And these guys at McNeese State have done a really good job of rallying the troops and holding the fort down until Will Wade returns.
Vasquez with 5 points in the game. There's been no secondary, no primary scoring for UAB, with the exception of Daniel Ortiz.
And Daniel Ortiz tonight has been the one bright spot offensively. The Blazers, Javian Davis, 2 points, Yaxel Lindenborg, 4. When your best interior scorers only come up with 6 points, it's tough to win. And you got to credit the Cowboy defense for that. They're doing a great job of forcing the Blazers into a tough perimeter shot.
Things will not get easy next time for UAB, and they got Southern Miss Friday, December 1st.
As we creep into December, we're closer to the conference season.
Foul on the actual, and I tell you, that's not his fault. He closed out, but there was a wide open lane. We'll see the replay. Nobody's there, 4 Blazers, and then he comes in the last minute. I mean,
and we see essentially what's plagued the Blazers all season long so far, their lack of ability to guard on the perimeter, containing the dribble. That time Daniel Ortiz gives up a direct line to the basket, and you're forcing your best interior defenders to come over and help. And it's essentially 50-50. If they get vertical and play it well, then great. But if not, it's a foul.
Omar Cooper, 4 points. And there is Hamilton. You like the way that Cooper has run this?
I love Omar Cooper. This is my first time getting a chance to see him play in person and watch him on film a little bit. But he does such a good job of just playing within himself. You can't rush him. You can't speed him up. And he doesn't throw passes that his teammates will catch. He throws passes that he knows they're going to catch. He delivers it on time in the right spot almost every time.
26 minutes for Cooper in a start. Only 2 turnovers. In fact, McNeese State, Mo, on the road, has only turned it over tonight 8 times. I mean, anytime you're less than double digits this late in the game on the road, they have protected and valued each possession.
Right, and they're hovering right around their average of turnovers per game. They've done such a great job of taking care of the basketball, and I think that comes when you know what your identity is offensively. You know who's going to get shots. You know where you're going to get your scoring opportunities within your offense, within the flow of your offense. And they've done a really good job of coming in here tonight and just taking care of business offensively.
Remember, Davis struggled in the first half at the free throw line. It's a pair here. Blazers down by 15. They will not pick up until midcourt.
And now for the final 5:34, if you're the Blazers, you have to try to find a way to turn the Cowboys over a little bit, force them into some tougher shots.
Wells deflected. Second chance. He does not give up. And he's at 28.
Right back to him. Eric Gaines there with a great block on Wells. Ball finds him. It's amazing when you're playing hard and being aggressive how that ball seems to find you.
From underneath, UAB missed. Gaines to Vasquez, and an empty possession at 5 minutes. Look at this. They are having a blast, and Wells is having a field day. He's at 30 points, his career high 37 earlier this year against Western Carolina.
Wells continuing to attack. He must have heard me say he's not being aggressive enough, because this second half he has definitely come out and attacked from the tip.
He has 20 second half points, Shahade Wells. 4 threes.
And he's made some contested threes. He's scored in traffic. He's scored in a variety of ways. He's found himself by himself at the top of the key for 3. He's attacked the basket after made baskets. He's done just a great job of putting pressure on the Blazer defense tonight in the second half.
DJ Richards picks up his 5th foul. He and Lindeborg are out.
McNeese State averages 79 points a game, and they're going to get probably a touch more than that, especially if Wells continues to attack here. The last 5 minutes of this half of the game here. Just a great performance by these Cowboys.
Wells got more points in his repertoire. He's up to 32, a Jelly Walker-esque type performance.
And that's such a great bounce pass, great feed from Cooper there.
And Wells comes up with the rebound. Shahade Wells, 2 years at Tyler Junior College, 1 year at Texas Arlington, 2 years from Jamie Dixon at TCU, and he's not done yet.
Wells is putting on a show here now for the rest of the Blazer faithful who remained inside the building.
35 for Wells. This is his first year at McNeese State. They might retire his jersey after 1 year.
If he continues to score at this rate, I think he'd have an argument.
What an outing. And we better make sure we give proper kudos to this Cowboy club. They have a big lead as we take a break just under the 4-minute mark. 76-54. There's the player of the game right there. Shahade Wells with 36, I believe it is. They took one away, 35 rather. And he has gotten over 30 twice this year. Lyndon, this is no surprise because he was voted the player of the year, the preseason player of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah, so people in the Southland Conference knew what they were getting when Wells transferred into McNeese State to join the conference. He was voted preseason newcomer of the year, so some big shoes to fill. And so far, Kurt, he's done that and some with 2 20-plus point games coming into tonight. You just mentioned this is his second 30-point-plus game, and he's just doing it all. He's going to lead an assist. He's just their stat leader for McNeese State, and it's incredible what he's done, it being his first year in this system and so early in the season.
DeAndre Thomas picks up a foul. So Wells, let's see what he's got here. It's 34. Yeah, that's correct. 34. That last one, Mo, the officials told you was not a 3. It was a 2.
Kurt, I have to ask you a question.
Ortiz missed 3. I've got to give you an answer. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of this preseason category, the player who scares you the most? That's a Southland Conference coaches category. Who do you think got that?
Well, probably Wells. That's a wild off the chart guess there.
You went on a
Was
limb
I
there,
right?
You were right. Yeah, you were right.
Okay. All right. You know, and I have to again brush up on my Southland Conference stars there, but I know one of them right in front of us. And this outing it looks, Mo, it looks lethargic is the word. From downtown, and there's a party going on in Lake Charles, Louisiana right now.
Well, it has definitely been an eye-opening experience for the Blazers regarding playing at your home, on your home court, and being dominated in this fashion, dangerously close to being held under 65 points here by the McNeese State Cowboys. And Wells has led the way, obviously, with 34 points. But now, you know, everyone's getting into it a little bit. The bench over there for the Cowboys, everyone's standing, everyone's excited. And you take a look at the Blazer bench, and the energy has been flat and seemingly from the jump, from the start of the game. Even
there, that picture did paint 1,000 words of the UAB faithful. Just looking at stats and just figuring out where did this thing go? Where did, I mean, you've been around this program a long time, and UAB at home, they don't drop 20-point games.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you could essentially count on and pencil in as far as UAB basketball is concerned is energy level, especially inside this building. Obviously from my days here with Murray Bartow and Mike Anderson, great home crowds with Andy Kennedy coming back, Coach Jared Hass a few years ago, Rob Eason. The energy in this building has always been really good. But what helps jumpstart that is the performance on the floor. And when players come out flat, fans end up being a little flat. And it's just a difficult situation right now if you're a part of the UAB coaching staff, because you've done essentially everything you can to put them in position to be successful. But that's the one thing you can't do. There's no play or no substitution for energy. You've got to bring it, or you've got to find someone else who can and will.
It's something you cannot be taught. You might be able to teach someone how to shoot a little bit better, how to guard a little bit better, how to rebound a little bit better. But passion and energy, if it's not inside your veins, we're going to find somebody else who can, is where Tees can't go. And just a bunch of misses at the rim tonight for UAB as well. This is one of those, Andy Kennedy said that after the win against Middle. He said, this is not a tape going to Springfield. This one is not a tape that might not even make it to the basketball office.
This tape right here, well, if you are a UAB Blazer, I think you have to look at the tape and you have to kind of look in the mirror and say, what is it that I need to do in order to help this team get better, in order to help us solve some of our problems, especially with the energy, with the open misses, with the defensive lapses of communication. You've got to figure out a way to come out and turn the tide a little bit, because it doesn't get any easier.
36 now for Wells. Ortiz to the floor. Wells one basket away from resetting a career high.
And even right here, we'll see 3 Cowboy defenders.
That's right.
Within 2 feet of Daniel Ortiz, and they've been that way the entire night. Such a great game plan by the coaching staff, forcing UAB to take tough contested twos and essentially shutting off points in the paint.
What's the old axiom about defense, Mo? That it will what?
It travels.
It'll travel.
And apparently jump shots travel when you're the McNeese State Cowboys.
Well, they do if your name is Shahade Wells. And I tell you, the unsung hero tonight, you called it a few times in this game, and that's their point guard, Omar Cooper.
Oh, just a phenomenal job of controlling the tempo, controlling the game, playing with poise.
A 19-point lead. The question is if Wells can he hit one more bucket, which would set a new career high. Ortiz in his shorts right now, and there he goes. Spins, and he lost control, but Thomas with a rebound, and then the rim blocked him. And then they still get a basket. DeAndre Thomas. And those late buckets, those buckets right there, they're going to drive Andy and his Andy Kenny and his staff just bananas watching that tape. That even under a minute, you want to play for 40 minutes.
Right. You give up a basket there, it almost makes it a little personal.
Right. 13 seconds left to go, and the McNeese State Cowboys going to walk in and out of Bartow with a dub. 3 seconds, one last shot, no foul. That'll do it. Clock empty, and a terrific road win for the McNeese.